live in the most informed era in human history. You can learn anything. Discipline, business, fitness, philosophy, thousands of books, millions of videos, infinite advice. And yet, procrastination is stronger than ever. Anxiety is louder than ever. Dreams are postponed more than ever. So the real problem is not ignorance, it's hesitation. You don't lack knowledge, you lack action. There's a quiet principle in Japanese philosophy. Wisdom is not something you collect, it is something you embody. A young student once dreamed of becoming a master swordsman. He memorized strategies, studied techniques, and could quote legendary warriors word for word. Among them was Miyamoto Musashi, perhaps the most famous swordsman in Japanese history. The student could explain Musashi's dueling philosophy in perfect detail, but when it came time to train, he delayed. He adjusted his grip, he reorganized his notes, he waited for the right mood. Meanwhile, other students swung their wooden swords every single day, imperfect, clumsy, sweating, improving. Months passed. The student knew more, but he had become weaker. That is the danger of knowledge without movement. Japanese tradition has always valued action over theory. In Zen, understanding is not achieved through argument, it is achieved through practice. A monk doesn't debate enlightenment endlessly. He sweeps the floor. He sits in silence. He repeats simple acts thousands of times, because repetition builds character, not inspiration. In fact, the famous samurai text Hagakure teaches that the way of the warrior is found in decisive action. It emphasizes readiness, acting without being paralyzed by overthinking. The warrior did not wait for perfect clarity. He moved, and in movement, clarity appeared. Today, we suffer from what could be called intellectual overload. We consume productivity content. We listen to motivational speeches. We bookmark self-improvement threads. But consumption creates the illusion of progress. You feel productive because you learned something, but your life has not changed. There's a deep Japanese concept called Kaizen, meaning continuous improvement. Not dramatic transformation, not viral success, small daily action. 1% better. After World War II, Japan faced devastation, infrastructure destroyed, economy shattered. Instead of endless discussion about rebuilding, factories improved small processes daily. Workers refined tiny habits. Systems evolved gradually. No hype, no grand speeches. Just consistent execution. And over time, those small actions rebuilt a nation. The uncomfortable truth is this. You already know enough to change your life. You know how to improve your health. You know how to improve your finances. You know how to improve your focus. The missing ingredient is not information. It is tolerance for discomfort. In Zen practice, monks train through Zazen, seated meditation. It looks simple. Sit still and breathe. But try doing it for 20 minutes without checking your phone, without adjusting your posture every few seconds, without escaping your thoughts. It is hard. Why? Because action, even quiet, simple action, demands discipline. And discipline feels uncomfortable. Most people wait to feel motivated, but the samurai understood something different. Action creates emotion, not the other way around. You don't become confident and then act. You act, and confidence grows. You don't become disciplined and then start. You start, and discipline forms. Waiting for the right mood is the fastest way to stay stuck. Movement generates momentum. Stillness generates doubt. Imagine this. If you exercise 20 minutes a day for 1 year, would your body change? Of course. If you studied 30 focused minutes daily for a year, would your knowledge expand? Without question. So the issue is not complexity, it is consistency. The mind resists repetition because it craves novelty, but mastery lives in repetition. The sword master didn't swing perfectly on day 1. The monk didn't sit peacefully on day 1. The craftsman didn't carve flawlessly on day 1. They showed up, again and again and again. There is a silent power in simple daily action. No announcement, no dramatic declaration, no social media post, just work. When you remove the obsession with motivation, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating with yourself, you act. And that is where identity shifts. Not when you read, not when you plan, not when you dream, when you execute. So here is the challenge. Don't search for another strategy tonight. Don't consume another motivational video. Choose one small action. Do it today. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just consistently. Because you don't lack knowledge, you lack action. And once you move, even slightly, everything begins to change.